That's good enough, man. I don't have to have it be exact. Look, it's me. I like don't really need the commentary at all. I guess I do because I'm gonna be. Ah, what the fuck was he talking about? Every Aura tutorial. I've never done one. I've just done a couple tutorials for the game and other games. Maybe I don't want to listen to the commentators. I'm bad. I deserve that. This guy was my fucking first opponent and he's not even bad. Light uppercut with Oro is very good against the stomp stuff. It'll just beat the stomps clean at like just about every time. That was not a combo. I'm just bad. I didn't go to blocking. This is hard to punish. That was a bad attempt by me. He should have OS parried there, but he didn't. And I OS parried there, but I just misinterpreted how much I would be doing it. I'm actually getting smashed by this guy right now. It's a cool parry though. People didn't really parry during block strings in any of these. Could have been better. I remember this happening later, but it's right at the beginning of the video. Maybe I run it back with him. That was such a good punish. He hit me on the ground. He's actually quite good with that, but I ended up adjusting to make it a lot harder for him. He was doing anti-air parry into button on the ground and getting the punish window, like, because I hit the button at just the right time. If I attacked later, I'd be able to land and then recover and then block. And if I attacked earlier, I'd be able to get my normal back and then have no recovery frames on the ground. So I was attacking at the perfect timing that enabled that for him. Also, that wasn't a very good cross through. I should have like not revealed that, to be honest. My meter build there wasn't very good at all. See, that was a punish. He didn't believe in it, so he didn't cancel it. But I kept on getting hit by that. That was a good combo. Ooh. He missed out on his punish. So sad. I'd have like lost that round if he like got a good punish there. A lot of people aren't really sure what to do after a block 2 hit strong. They usually only block like 1 hit strong, so it depends on the character. I could have killed there with a walk-in strong. Yeah, anti-air parry is not an assured confirm. Ground parry can be, but it depends on the context. There's not a lot you can do. It depends on what's parried, of course. Canceling something invincible. Okay. I had to jump over there, but it was possible, but I didn't like it from where I was. The cross-up was actually better on the first one, but I think it's funny if you do it with the first one. I don't know if, like, I feel like it doesn't hit properly if you do stand strong into a hard stomp as your initial one. I feel like that needs a mid-air connect. Don't quote me. That only works on some characters anyway. Necro, it's very easy. But I use that to like get him out of the corner and get the unblockable going. It's hard. People get lost. Even in other Street Fighters, they get lost. But in this game, it's weird to find someone who can shut down an option completely. Or it's very common because of the way parries work. But you're like kind of more helpless for it. That throw range really caught me off guard. Wake up stomp. That's not safe or anything. It works a lot on people who don't really know what to do with it. That was a punish, I think. No Kuroda unblockable. What are these guys talking about? Instant overhead is maybe true, but it wasn't instant. It was universal overhead. They're fast, but not that fast. I feel like I'm just trading back and forth in this round, but I've got such a life lead. I'd like a bar here. That was nice. That was not optimal from what I got. I actually had another. I had a chicken and then a fucking stand strong into uppercut from there. Or stand strong into jump cancel. Ooh, I wanted to hit him. I should have thrown him. That's at 2020. It's harder to find that cancel. Well, it depends on how the opponent's playing. I tried to. That can be a really annoying situation for Necro, where the Necro can create, and I really hate being in it. So my main goal is to prevent opponents from letting me get in it. Like what I just did there.
Must have been some kind of like Parry situation there. Not really sure how that went down.
I was dashing to low parry. I was greedy. I'm in general very parry greedy.
Popping each other in and
That
out
was
of the corner
punishable.
all the time.
That was a sick punish.
Wow, excellent punish. That was amazing.
He telegraphed that too much. He walked back way too soon.
Wow,
I have nothing here.
Ooh,
Never mind, that was an unblockable. I lied. Past me knew better.
unblockable loop. Let's go. Oil loop.
Yup.
Man.
That was a little late, so getting a hit on the ground after that would have been hard, but fortunately I didn't need one.
Wow. Excellent comeback from Bath.
I feel like I should be pausing more to actually talk about some of these crazy things.
It's literally
Aura was functionally almost identical to Urian. Look at that double attack. You recover. I think that was me getting grabbed out of an uppercut, which are theoretically very difficult to actually grab. But he got it that time. Parry into jump. I don't know why this guy does that. It's super weird. He like neutral jumps a lot, and Oro is not a good character to do it on because Oro was very like Oro risks very little by going for a close strong. It's like not a bad play for him.
What is this stuff, dude? What are these mix-ups? Oh my gosh. Okay, so back throw into the corner. Wow, look at the SCP. Very, very close.
Nice.
Oh, the stomps. Big stomp. And the grab. There it is. Wow, meaty throw is really hard to do in this game. Meaty throws are very, very difficult to get off because characters have more throw immunity on wake up than in like
Very nice.
5. Oh, there you go. There's the story. Story is he
I tried to stand short that to interrupt it.
product keys on every new okay, wow. That's actually super cool.
Oh, this is it. This is the round. I've already won.
The unblockable. This is
I don't drop it.
unblockable. Yeah, there it is. Keep going.
I literally, he had full HP, and I got an anti-air close strong, and then I won. This is quite difficult to parry out of. This is one of the more difficult setups to parry out of.
Keep going and going and going. Like he's not dropping it at all. Perfectly. There it is. Wow.
It's because I'm getting the 3-hit booger and not the 2-hit booger.
He basically just won the whole round on one combo. Damn. Oro is so busted, I want to say.
That guy's probably just like, what the fuck, man.
Yeah, yeah. But
I played him every tournament so far.
it's like, holy
I love that.
the wobble. It's like basically wobbling. It's the equivalent where you just get one combo.
More blocks done, it's a super.
I mean, it's definitely more skillful than
Neither of them are real.
yeah, this is it's
I think Crouch Hard Punch does, but don't even quote me. I never do DP Crouch. I never do hard DP into super ever. I think it's not good at all into. It doesn't do anything for stones, and the opponent can interrupt a booger cancel.
he also knows like the last tutorial he showed is like he knows every single
I don't like either of those on block anyway.
like how
I like EX DP into super on block a little bit,
like
but that only works with super 2.
the big brain, yeah. Big brain, dude.
And it's still not great because you'll have to cancel the early hits of. That's in short. You have to cancel the early hits of.
Or, there's
Um,
but it's a hard
Look at this. I get an anti-air close strong. Second hit only. He parries the first hit. Out of reaction, I just do a fairly safe little conversion there. I do like walk forward strong into uppercut. If I did 2-hit strong into and he didn't parry, my best possible thing I could do here pretty much is walk forward strong into jump roundhouse, super jump roundhouse. But because he parried the first hit, this is a JP state of 3 instead of 4. So what I could have done was walk forward strong into medium stomp and then gotten a medium uppercut. That would have done a lot more damage.
parries on the fireball and then the overhead. And then if he presses any buttons when he's on the other side. Pressure. I'll let that jump.
Look at me. I'm no respect.
Parrying is super dangerous because if you parry the
I'm treating pokes like they're like real.
it resets.
That was I was ready for the real thing, I think.
Hit by it again, you're full
But I didn't. I just dropped the combo.
So pretty scary. Ooh.
I think I remember thinking about that during the time.
Oh, the very ooh.
That was a very nice little cross under.
Got the super too. But ooh, no convert. There's the stomps. Those stomps are brutal. I'm really surprised you didn't link into super off the Hayate.
He's played neutral so much better like this recent week than previously. That hits him a lot. He's never had to deal with that before for sure. He actually blocked it last week, and he like never blocked it for the fucking first 2 weeks. But jump in stomp like functioning as a that was an accident. Jump in strong functioning as a way to blow up throws is like super wild.
That close punch, it's over.
Yeah, I think axe kick is not very good against Oro, and he definitely has a lot of faith in it. That was awkward,
Oh no.
but I got the instant overhead anyway. There was no crossover there, I think. I ended up getting a crossover, but I think I wouldn't have if he didn't get killed. This guy was really good. He could have come in second, but he immediately after this round ended,
Let's go.
um, he said he had to leave and he just left. This was winners finals.
Okay, jumping on the fire.
He also didn't have any faith in his characters. He tried to like play the matchup on me, but he probably didn't realize that I've got like a lot more experience probably in whatever matchup than he does in the game. But he's not a bad player by any means.
That's it.
Super, super close. I almost hit the corner. Roundhouse, uppercut, EX uppercut. That doesn't even do more damage than a command grab, by the way.
Sat there to charge that. Yeah.
I just do it because it's cool.
Down, upcharge.
It's crazy. You think you're
Ew.
doing okay with Oro, and then all of a sudden you get this bar and it's over.
It's just over,
Yeah.
dude. You're just done. It's really just like that. Oh, wow.
That's a tricky scenario. I had neutral jump roundhouse there, but I jumped the wrong way and then I just didn't do anything.
He was going to go forward.
Right. Ooh. Nope, this is a super. What's he gonna get out of this?
A little loop. Where we
I always fuck that up. You have to do it so early against Shotos. That was weird. I've never had that stand strong hit that way. That was an accident.
It's a,
It was a super cool accident, so no complaints.
that's not actually a
Cool little combo.
necessarily. It actually is just a hit, which means I think it's what him was dashing there. I think he was trying to dash forward or something.
Yeah, axe kick is mostly dangerous for its air-to-air components, and my
That was pretty
my air stuff is usually not weak to axe kick.
I wonder if he stays pinned here. I kind of doubt it.
Oh. Who's he picking? Hugo?
Hugo.
Oh.
Yeah, there's the Hugo pick.
I think the Hugo was actually the thing I was the most afraid of, but I played the most scumbag way, so he had the least faith in it.
Well,
It's Tusk Act 4, pulling apart the dimensions.
sometimes just being comfortable.
You were talking about my shirt.
Matchup cards, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I definitely agree.
Anti-air roundhouse is okay. It's not even great. I did it though.
Claps getting
I don't have a whole lot of faith in it versus Hugo, but every now and then I fuck with it. That time I got killed. That time I also got killed. Both of them were mistimed. This is super bad for me. This is a place you never want to be. That was anti-air roundhouse with a relatively decent timing, losing to jump medium kick, just because the range was terrible.
Parry. This claps.
Definitely still a winnable round, but very awkward.
Oh.
Jumps right into it.
That was a pretty decent conversion.
Combos. All right, another orb.
And this time he just, like, I don't know.
Oh, no. It's not over. Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Instant overhead, man. It's so easy to get the instant overheads on Hugo, like the tall characters, because their hitboxes start so high up, you know, or they end so high up.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. Psych out with the
Roundhouse just utterly failed there, even though I timed it right. I do that jump fierce, sometimes early to land and throw, and sometimes late to get the 2 hits. It only works on a few characters. One of them is Hugo. That was nice that he got over it. I thought he was going to land on it. I should have done the heavy one.
He has super.
Jumping is maybe the right way out for Hugo. The absolute best thing Hugo can do is EX chop the super.
absolutely huge damage.
Should have parried that, to be honest.
Not something
I'm trying not to get fucking SPD'd.
I mean,
360, 720.
gotta rip it out at some point here.
That was me trying to bait it. Jump early, jump medium, kick back dash.
He might not even have to. He might be able to save the meter since he's a little bit ahead on life here. Here's the orb.
the orb, yeah. Is he gonna do the same thing? Yeah, no.
I shouldn't have jumped once he jumped. I should have just, like, comboed him on the ground. Ouch.
Very nice.
Dead. Straight dead on that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not messing around with that super.
All right.
He's just getting it out, getting that win.
All right, Shinkono on the comeback here.
Yeah, no, he's doing really, really well for this matchup.
That's the 2 hit, but I got it kind of high.
Grab.
It gives you a confirm in and of itself, but the thing I do afterwards is close strong into hard fireball, which is also safe.
Parry the jump in.
I think it's actually safe on parry, but don't quote me.
SPD. All right.
Hard fireball has a lot better recovery than light fireball for Oro.
Hasn't gotten the unblockable chain yet.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get it.
Yeah.
Shinkono is playing super. Whoa, what is this?
A little bit of wonkiness there. I threw the medium one on accident as negative edge, and it actually still worked, which caught me completely off guard.
No. Yeah. Oh.
I failed to hit him with a medium kick, so it was actually a pretty easy block.
All right. Well,
Clap, there it is. 1-1.
That caught me off guard.
and they said Hugo was a bad match. And they
Jump
said-
parry the super is okay.
Look at it. Look at it again. That was impressive.
The only way to avoid damage, you can't avoid damage completely unless you make a pretty hard read or get a really crazy parry. EX clapping and eating a single hit of the super is the absolute best scenario you can get out of it, because you lose one of your EXs, but Oro loses a full bar. And you take almost no damage, and you can actually catch him doing something depending on what he does after the super.
Class, throwing out those claps.
Lucky by me. Body splash would have hit me there, so it was a daring close strong to hit.
You want to be against
That was also just luck. Caught him hitting a button.
Stun here. Looks like he made it out.
I get so greedy sometimes. When I see that high stun bar, I just mash roundhouse.
Maybe not.
maybe not.
Maybe not.
Here
Maybe
comes
this
the
is
orb. I
stun.
don't know what
Yeah.
Oh no.
I actually used up my juggle potential there. Rare footage of chicken combo. A single rep on Hugo.
I was like, that's probably good with the uppercut, but maybe.
Getting unblockable is terrible.
Ooh, just clap that fireball. Clap that.
So getting hit midair is generally better than eating a hit on the ground.
Must be a
The worst thing that can happen to you is you stay on the ground and Nora jumps behind you.
spinning punch.
That's just like GG
Yeah.
for a lot of characters. Hugo's not really one of them because I can't get a chicken out of it, or not easily.
Tosses it up, gets out of the corner.
And here's another one.
Sticking him in.
Gets just enough.
Ooh, double parry.
I ended up being safe because I got a high connect for the second button that got parried. I got a really high. I got an air-to-air connect and then a high connect, and then I recovered on the ground.
Small punish.
Now it's just me playing the don't get 720 game, which is fairly easy to play generally.
Honestly, Hugo definitely has a shot. The super one. Just
Yeah, you can see it.
totally
Don't SPD me.
Oh, air throw.
Very difficult to live now.
Looking good.
Very bad from me. I could have like gotten fucked up there. It should have been a high fireball, not a straight one.
Dang. All
If he
right.
stuck to the ground, he had to parry the super, and then I could have dashed in.
So, this is top 3 right now, so it's not totally over. Yeah, the menus for this game are really weird. Like,
Yeah.
you just
Change characters every single match.
Start the next match, like if you play at like an arcade or like on
Trying to find something that works, but the Hugo already worked once. But to be honest, I think
Okay.
no, probably Hugo's the one I wanted to fight the least.
Hugo pick, so he's played this will be interesting. They're not like I don't know what the matchup is, but I feel like it's
My punish on Hayate was pretty weak, especially he was getting a lot of Hayates that were actually spaced, which I don't have to interact with almost ever. So like those, that was actually still a punish,
roundhouse.
I think. Don't quote me.
Oh, okay. Nice little combo there. Okay, there's the orb.
Ah, I can't believe that hit the way it did, but he was coming down with a parry. He was like scared. So the empty jump ended up being costly for him.
Take this whole thing.
Hit him during parry lock. That was actually the right conversion, but I got the wrong height. Makoto is more specific than most characters, but not as specific as Shoto's.
Okay.
For Shoto's, it's like a 2-frame link to get the juggle. For Makoto, it's like a 3-frame link. For most characters, it's like a 4. I went for the walk-in, didn't get it.
Will he get this? Yes, he does.
I miss that more often than I get it, but I never lab it, so
Arakusa in the corner. Here we go.
I don't practice it at all. That would have killed me.
For the big juggle there. Oh my gosh.
That was stun right there.
Done. You got these lights.
Now this is actually okay for me,
Trying to work that
and this
stun.
is super okay for me. I don't remember if I get it here. I think I drop it once.
This would be heartbreaking.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Looking good.
Yeah, I think this is it, dude.
Yeah, I do an early double jump there, and it never registers because I'm too close to my
Late. You didn't even cross up.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was
too close to my on the way up jump.
it's super dead now. The forums are like
It's hard, man. It's not a hard micro walk by the frames.
obviously no one uses
It's just between the block stun and getting far strong being not very good and close strong the wisp being even worse.
Okay.
His parries have been actually
That time I actually got it.
Yeah, I know.
I was remembering that from the early rounds. This is too close to the corner, I think.
He's got a bar already.
Yeah.
cross up. Doesn't get it though.
Yeah, there was two
I like kind of knew, but I tested it anyway because my meter isn't super precious. It's pretty easy to build meter on an opponent with bad defense if the chicken combo works. Very nice. And this guy has bad defense. It's like I'm eating a lot of damage, but I get damage for free as well. You know what I mean? Not what I wanted. That was a hard fireball. Because the close strong only hit one time instead of two, I got less charge time than usual. And you can still charge a hard fireball, but it's more precise.
Yeah, Aura just puts you in the loop all the time.
So no fireballs. But
Stop blocking. That's how it goes sometimes.
both players really good at
I love when that hits twice. It usually hits once. See, there's no reason that should have hit.
Combo.
He's being aggressive with parries that he has no business being aggressive with.
Okay.
That was pretty greedy of me.
Ooh, here we go.
Light super's the best here. I did it, thank God. And that was not a combo.
Big stun combo.
And
There you go. All right.
okay.
Bungus, this guy, Sky, erroneously stated, I think twice now, I've never corrected him yet, that Dizzy's reset juggle counter, but they don't. They actually maintain it. However, they do allow air resets to no longer air reset. That's the big difference. But people see the dizzy and they see the long combos and they're like, oh, I reset the juggle counter.
No, I don't think there's gonna be a. Yeah, no way.
No.
These characters are definitely.
The read.
You know,
That was deliberate. He started with that a couple times. And it's a very common start from Necro in general. So all I did was just walk in low parry. If I was really ballsy, which I wasn't, I would have done walk in low parry into command grab, which would have been more damage and more stun. But the next best thing was like forward around house.
yeah, he has the double jump so hard to anti-air.
Stop blocking again.
Stomp. Okay. Throw combos. Got the juggle.
Yep, this light uppercut. I can do that on reaction to a stomp or to a drill.
Okay.
Oro can use his buttons okay against
He's gonna.
Necro.
Ooh, yeah. Kind of has him exactly where he wants.
That was about my max conversion. That was the second hit into the one hit into stomp into
That's the thing. It's
uppercut
like so hard
or whatever.
to escape taking damage when he throws out the super.
Not even uppercut.
Like I said before,
That was a light uppercut getting beat. That doesn't happen often. It depends on the angle and the timings.
just jump into that. He's like,
But that caught me off guard, I remember.
can't afford to take that.
I actually low blocked on the ground instead of low parrying. Timid. That caught me off guard that that worked, to be honest. It wasn't like me disrespecting it. I just literally, like, I didn't think it would work from that far out.
Just solid anti-pick super.
It was a good reply. Yeah, that's like usually death. If it's regular stones, it can be good. If it's EX stones, you usually just die. I actually got a huge dizzy reset because of that. So I got a combo that never ever would have dizzied him because he tried for the parry out. It did like a massive amount of dizzy. Way too close to the corner.
Oh, two hit.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Oh, still get this.
Past Bath is better than current Bath.
Super. He gets enough to get to the super. Okay.
The setup is really unusual. Most people don't do it. In fact, I'm the only one I know who does it.
Oh no! Wow, that is so brutal.
Yeah. As soon as he gets going, it's over.
Wow.
You have to try to rush him down before he gets into like that.
Oh no.
I got the cool block and then I couldn't even get anything from it.
Decent chip though. Not
Even if you red parry the last hit, it's like, I don't even know if roundhouse would punish. Or is not very good in that scenario. There's not a lot I can do there. None of my options do anything. I can't hit the opponent who's kind of far away quickly. Let uppercut on reaction.
solid DP doing a
I hit the universal overhead too early and then too late. So I had no mix up there, unfortunately. Well, I did have a mix up, but I didn't have any conversion from either side. Dash and low short was better, to be honest. Here as well. I didn't walk in far enough. A Kara universal overhead would probably be okay there. I should lab that to see if it's a reasonable option. Oh, the right read and the bad distance. There, I got the charge on the one hit only. There it is. I almost never throw, but almost everything I do is very weak to just down back, to be honest. If you up back while I'm in the air and down back while I'm on the ground, like, I actually have a pretty hard time opening someone up without throwing. And both of our OSOs are pretty bad on a cornered opponent. I don't get real Oki on either one. This was just a mistake. I shouldn't have dashed. I should have done the second super and then dashed was the correct play, because then he would have had to do 8 parries. And I could have thrown him out of any one of them.
Yeah. I mean, both of these players can parry fireballs. You know.
yeah. It is not over. He's just. Oh,
Yeah,
the
but
time
he's
though.
gonna
The
try
time.
Mm.
Ah, there it is. EX stomps.
I'm surprised he went for that. Actually, I really thought he was gonna land it.
I really like that. The commentators observe that, and they're kind of right. I could have sat on the life lead, but I like to let my opponent kind of just realize that they need to go in if they want to win, and then go for the chip out.
That's such a good sleeve.
And EX Stomp is a much faster chip out. It's a more unreactable chip out than EX Fireball, which is a better chip out because it's one, safer, and two, there's more things I can do to mix it up. Should have parried there. It was free. The problem is parrying freezes me and the Fireball, and not Necro.
Going for like a parry there or something.
Ooh, just tap him once and stun.
Come on. Oh, he can't get it. He gets it with the cross up.
The best I can be is like minus
Overhead.
Run away with it.
side swap.
Wow.
And it's worse than it looks because I don't actually get any extra frames on the parry. Most attacks in this game, you get extra frames when you parry something. Like the recovery of a jab isn't very long, but when you parry a jab, you get the recovery of the jab plus 8 frames or whatever. 6, I think. I don't remember.
Here we go.
That was super bad for me. I completely botched it.
That is just.
I shouldn't have even tried to salvage it because there was no way I could turn that into something okay.
Half is one win away.
But a lot of the time when something like that happens, like the opponent is so shocked at what happened that like they don't know which way to block. even though it's like a non-mix-up. Generally speaking, if anything looks ugly, you can block your way out, because actually getting the unblockable is kind of a trick.
Oh wow, 2 bars, a lot to work with. Man,
If Oro stays on the same side, there's actually very little he can do to threaten you.
Vegeta's having such a hard time getting a read on the anti-air.
He should be doing a lot more like back fierce stuff. I hate Necros who anti-air back fierce.
Okay.
That was nice.
Oh wow.
I hate jumping in doing back fierce.
Yeah. Oh, universal overhead into Parry.
That's an OS.
Oh no, it's the stun. That's it.
Really, really nice.
Wow. GG. That was. School.
Still lined up. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
What the heck?
Sir bot. This guy didn't even like. I watched him play before I played him,
Hopping in on Ken here. That's pretty cool.
and he played a Chun-Li, and he just hit normals, and the Chun-Li just hit normals, and they didn't seem to know what they were doing. So I got a little smug, and I was like, let's fool around a little bit.
Ooh, it looks like he didn't have the
So I picked Super One.
or something.
Also, I got a chat request to pick Super One.
Ken needs to try to get
I think by Moogle Pies or someone.
until he gets the super, and this might just be.
And I tried to show off every different thing that Super One can do.
I think he's saving the
Yeah, he might be
saving the
saving it for
meter.
next round. Yeah.
Also, wait, he's doing super one. This is
This would never have any backdashed out.
chat.
If my timing was more perfect, that wouldn't have been possible. But
Yeah, gentle
super
one is so good.
backdashing out, that is my timing would have to be quite perfect. Backdashing out is actually a somewhat reasonable thing to do against that.
Air grab. And he can do
Backdash and wake up is like not
so he can do 2 for
it's not really part of the mix-up at all, but it's occasionally functional. If it's not a real meaty, backdash is actually an okay reply,
the air grab.
especially because even though you're not
You can still do it.
throw immune on wake up,
There it is.
backdashing will get you out of range of throws by the time like someone will try to throw you,
That's his worst super.
or because you backdashes aren't throw immune, but like just wake ups throw immune.
And the sun is way better.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
I love when I get that confirmed. Depending on the height of the opponent, you have to do different things.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was rough.
The height of the opponent plus like
A stun.
how early they get hit.
Most likely the best player. I mean, he's the best player last match.
Oh my god.
It's actually a lot trickier than it looks.
Yeah, of course. This is
Dash forward and towards strong is usually pretty good. Dash forward into crouch fierce is good if you get a dizzy on either one, because that gives you that lets you keep the combo going.
wow, I just short you right out of that.
Dash forward into roundhouse is a bit greedier.
Oro's really good at just jumping all over the place.
Yeah. No, he's super tricky because he's got the double
It's
jump, so
it's tricky.
yeah, he's gonna go in and then he doesn't.
I don't do a whole lot of overheads in general, and super punishes that.
Yeah,
Like definitely Ken's need to learn that, but against Oro it's annoying.
right there. But his opponent didn't empty
I think Ken's super punishes Oro's close strong if only if he ducks the only if he ducks the second hit, which is, you know, Ken does duck the second hit, so it's not hard. But you have to go from down back to the super pretty quickly for the reversal, and if you get like a straightforward or anything, you know.
Where he flies up with you and then
Yeah,
jumps
yeah.
down.
The meteor smash
Yeah,
or whatever.
I forget what it's called.
And it's not even guaranteed. That's the trick, is that Ken can't always super punish a Oro close strong because Oro can super jump cancel it, and Ken doesn't know if he will or not. I hate doing that, but I'll do it if a Ken shows reversal super. I'll start doing close strong into super jump.
Yeah, both empty jumping.
A bone to pick.
Cut the throw. Very, very interesting. Ooh, double jump shenanigans.
This Ken is not using any of his super meter at all.
Yeah, he is. Oh, well,
Right as I
yeah,
said,
there it
yeah,
is.
Caster goes.
Good
I
punish.
botched the punish there.
Actually, I don't know if Oro can punish that.
He hops on his
Yeah, but that wasn't like a
yeah,
real
yeah,
punish.
it's just like,
That was like a
It's hard. I drop that more often than I get it.
Oh, is that gonna be it?
Crouch high punch EX SA1. I usually don't think about it very much either. That was literally, I had no idea what he was going to do. I was just like, let's get some parries. And then I was alarmed that I even got 2.
What was that?
It was just me going full bully mode.
I'll go right now. That way we can run it. Just stay in. Bad bump.
And then because I got 2, I was like, what the fuck? And then I hit light punch for the kill,
The whole world.
Yeah, the whole
which
world.
was guaranteed on either parry.
I was literally born in the same year this game came out.
No.
Yeah?
May?
I said born in the same year.
Oh, I think you said 2 months. I don't know why.
What?
Nice little cross under. I took the baby combo because I hate juggling Ryu, and I got a midair connect. Midair connect changes the already tiny window.
Wow.
And I missed it that time.
Oh, I missed the stops actually.
I get it more often than I don't, but like, you know,
Parries.
every now and then.
You can see him just kind of jiggling around.
I've like almost never had that happen to me, and it happened to me a couple times in these recent tournaments. The EX fireball going over my head because of the close range crouching connect. It's pretty weird. EXDP but late.
Not taking
Sheep
that.
plays super random in a good way, but also he's not that good.
I don't even know if that Punisher.
And I played in a way that wasn't strong against it.
Wow, just
If I played in a very clammy way, it would be a lot freer.
lethally plays at
If I just waited for him to hang himself, because he was hanging himself quite often. These jumps, like, they're not outright punishable, but they're punishable the way he was playing, you know what I mean?
You're allowed to corpse juggle.
Or like winning in poke wars was something I probably could have done a lot more consistently.
Thank you, Stones. I didn't, how did this? What did this happen?
I did that roundhouse early. I always fucked that up. The stones changed the timing.
This was wrong.
Anti-air roundhouse just missed. I mean anti-air short. Usually even if the stand short whiffs, which it always will, the stones will hit and then you get a juggle. And I went for it and it didn't hit and I was like caught off guard.
Beat his ass.
That was wake up forward parry. The parry was probably better against Ryu, but I thought it was going to be like a chip fireball or something. EX fireball.
Wow, that was incredible. Hey, Garrick says the EX touch is only -4. So only far reaching supers can punish that. I think that makes sense.
Oof.
Ooh, donkey kick is a punish. Interesting. Oh,
Oro is like vulnerable while he's throwing those up fireballs on my cornered
at
opponents.
least on crowd.
I never do that, dude. That's actually a huge weakness I have as a player. I always see the scenario in post. Close strong 2 hits, and then I did roundhouse. I could have done hard fireball there, but what I'm talking about is what I could have done is hard fireball cancel DX super. My best possible conversion here, it's probably that. It's probably exactly that, because that does. I think it definitely does more stun, and I think it does more damage than walk in close strong into super. But it's a lot easier than walking close strong into super. If I don't cancel the close strong second hit, I still have the EX conversion, but I tend to forget that I have it. Or I tend to think that I only have it on walking close strong, because I never ever do hard fireball cancel DX super, which does work, and it works there.
Great juggle in the corner there.
That was really bad. I had a dizzy combo and I dropped the cancel, and I could have gotten some nice stuff.
Before he dies. Oh man. Such a meme. A very good meme.
How nice.
I got the picture. I got the picture. Smug bath. Oh wow. Very
See, stuff like that. If I'm waiting for those, it's free. Ooh. Big brain plays towards Fierce.
not link into very much stuff in this game.
He's catching me off guard with the way he plays. He's doing things where no like sensible person would ever do them. But they're not bad, it's just... Or I guess part of the reason they're really good is that they... Like, you know, point blank... After I cross up a point blank towards strong, I would not be thinking about blocking an overhead there. Stuff like that. But it's so slow. But I wouldn't try to interrupt something there because I just blocked the cross up. So there's legitimacy to it. Crouching opponent, rocks missed. Those rocks can really fuck me over sometimes, man.
That's a bummer. Prepare to strike. Now.
That was a punish, I think. I hit him crouching anyway. That crouch fierce has quite a lot of recovery, as you're mentioning. That was just a mistake.
Wow.
And this is
Just ridiculous.
kill.
Alright. That's so perfect. Gonzo. That's a literal perfect.
Yeah, he was crouching. It's like you eat the jump medium kick, but I time it so that I'm hitting a standing opponent. So it really caught me off guard because my stones were missing.
Side effect of us needing to like.
It happened like twice, or even thrice, I don't remember.
Oh, here we go. I'm imagining I do a button.
One time, I think at least once I had the stones hit properly and it was all fine.
Not. Okay, yeah.
But like that's one of those things where if you do something really, really irregular, you can catch someone off guard even though it's bad. That's a really good example of that. Crouch blocking there is awful, but I'm not attuned to someone who would crouch block there, and it happened to have like a function,
I mean that's
a mix up
tactic. Yeah.
because of my timing.
Downloading the player. Alright, anyway.
I went for the parry. This guy almost never meaty lows. He only does. There was one. He only does like the occasional meaty low short into a rotate endgame.
He's got another meter for another. Here we go. Yeah, there we go.
Too close to the corner. I only have a 50-50 here. And I should have taken it instead of getting that fucking non-cross up fucking... I just wanted the chip and the safety. And the plus frames.
Yeah, that was the correct.
But the 50-50 was better.
Set up in the corner there. It's hard to get that. You can't really do the radio.
Standing 5-stun infinite.
Yeah.
I've like never been able to get any sort of fucking long combo consistently. Or which one are you talking?
I like that backdash. He's got super. I imagine he's waiting to
Are you just talking about like the juggle? Are you talking about fucking towards strong
Going for the
roundhouse stuff?
Throw. Oh,
here we go.
Yep. Got the knockdown.
Oh. Yeah, that was not the right.
Goes for the
Oh,
parry.
he tried to parry
I could have
down.
gotten a much better conversion out of that, but I was caught off guard that he reset his juggle potential.
If you hit the first parry,
The actual
you
standing
reset your
infinite?
juggle potential in the air.
Elaborate. I don't even know what you're on about.
Hits again.
Right.
That's rough. But I mean, like he was about to die, so
Yeah.
the chip almost probably would have just killed him.
Oof. That was quick. Oh, it is. Is this best of 5?
No, this should be best of 3, right?
Nah, man. This should be best of 5.
What? That's not top 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind.
This is
I hate that stuff. No.
best of,
Fuck that.
best of 3.
I'm done.
The real way to make it consistent, or I should say you get much better options if you can desync your stones. But that's actually a fucking pain in the ass.
Alright. Half stun. Oh,
Back throw.
just hold him back. Good throw. Oh, whips the command grab.
Some stones will return to their starting positions faster than others.
There, I felt it, dude. Oh, he just stomped him all the way up. Whew. Man, Bath is really taking this one away.
Yeah, he sure is.
I guess I'd like to see it.
Hit him with the forward heavy punch. Ooh, jumped in like kind of whipped there.
I feel like Makoto might be playing too aggressively to his matchup.
Yeah, I mean, oh, all right, here we go. Oh, wow.
I actually get that pretty well spaced, but he blocks the overhead, so that's that.
Not much expected.
I swear I never have that work. It works on me pretty well.
Oh, parry.
I did the universal overhead later, maybe. This was kind of an awkward scenario because I didn't want the unblockable, I just wanted the dizzy. Fortunately, Makoto's slow-ass wake-up
Wow.
meant that she didn't even fucking get up in time for the fireball to hit her. That could be super duper awkward. Oh, the fucking handshake mix-up.
That was just a hard
If you
throw.
dizzy someone and they wake up into a booger, because then you have to adjust your entire scenario. You can't get like a jumping combo on them.
This is tight.
Brent played like a good player of not third strike, and I hate that. That's a thing I'm weak to, because it means they're unpredictable, but also it means that they understand things like safety and like randomness. That could have been a close strong.
Surprised he didn't go for the close strong there for the
I'd actually probably fight him better if he was better at third strike, because at least I'd be able to anticipate him.
combo. What the hell?
But he was actually very random, and he still did like the smart things. Like look at that. No third strike player. I shouldn't say no. Like a good third strike player would do something like that. It's very uncommon for a fucking Ken at his skill level to get those. So he was good at some stuff.
Oro's definitely has merit.
He was actually very tricky for me. He's probably the hardest person I've had to fight at one of these.
He almost got
Whiffed.
the fierce there.
He was really willing to DP, and that probably hanged him more often than it helped him.
The juggle.
But it definitely did both.
Really. If you don't know Oro, it seems like really hard to beat.
Should have just gone for a 2-hit strong into 1-hit strong into super. I probably could have nearly killed him there, just doing that.
The Shoto hitbox.
That was a failed light uppercut. I didn't have the charge in time.
He just throws that.
I didn't know how good he was at the low forward confirm. The fact that he picked Chun-Li at all, and the fact that he like knows that Chun-Li's a strong character means probably, and he certainly knows how confirms work. But that should actually just like shut Zoro down if a person's good at it. Most of the Chun-Lis I fight are horrible at it.
That was pretty good.
But if a Chun-Li is actually good at it, I literally turn into a crouch medium kick bot.
Low forward. Good button, man.
We gotta give him some credit here.
Yeah, Ken's got a good button.
It's like a really bad match.
Yeah, this is best of 5. We're doing
But he missed the confirm a couple times, so I think he wasn't actually as good as it at it as he
adapt. Wow.
as I was afraid of.
Solid. Yep. Very good punish.
The shimmy.
Wow.
That's not common in third strike, but it's not ineffective.
Nope.
The second time I just like didn't throw. I think I didn't throw for all of here.
Super.
Dang. Alright. That was a very good fight, I thought.
I did an OS parry into stand strong and didn't get him. He hit me out of it.
Alright, well,
Then I got tossed.
win for your boy Brent.
There were like 2 times where I was like fixing to get knocked to loser's bracket here, but I just fucking fixed my face and managed to win it on the fly. On the fly.
Actually gets that combo this time.
Fake cross up. See, that was something he was not prepared for.
I'm pretty sure that's the second time he's
That was super weird. I like thought I was gonna whiff. At first I was like, wait, this isn't right.
That is not something you see
I shouldn't have hit jump roundhouse at all. I should have just fucking said fuck it for the jumping combo. But I ended up getting a weird jump hard kick that hit on the front, but then I swapped sides anyway.
off the
Very abnormal thing. It was like a choke on my part. Fortunately, didn't decide the round it anyway.
Nice little corpse juggle there. I like that. I want to learn some like how to corpse juggle off certain kills.
Oro actually ducks there. Most characters would like never duck there because it's an overhead, and also it could swap sides a lot easier if you duck. So it's like a more obnoxious mix-up.
Yeah, the Chun and Ken matchups was just like not.
I fucking saw the parry, and then I thought I hadn't opened him up yet, but he just parried once and then got hit.
But both the Chuns were complete shit.
Good block.
Like, basically.
Medium kick punishes that. I went for a fireball, and even with a reversal, it wasn't a punish.
Familiar with the game.
See that?
I host the tournament.
Baby mode combo. Didn't want to get two-frame links on Ken.
That's it right there. See the stuff. That's a good shit right there. Alright. Same stuff. Prepare to strike.
That's on the way up. A lot of the time, his gut reaction was light DP, which is really not that strong in this game. That would have been a really good fake cross-up if I had the bar. I revealed it too much too fast, I think. I'm revealing my mix-ups and like my tricky scenarios when I don't have the resources to turn them into something big, and then he like has the knowledge that they exist. That was a punish actually. Or it's pretty minus when he gets that kind of stomp.
Maybe it was just a low. That was weird.
That was almost awful.
Can't quite make him the other round.
Trying to meet him midair because I don't want to fucking die.
So close right here. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He almost makes the full comeback. I go for that deliberately sometimes, but that time was just errant. It was just pure chance. I saw he was landing, and I figured he wouldn't jump right after landing. Empty jump into an immediate re-jump is super uncommon. So I was like, he'll either parry here or die. And he died.
So they didn't trade.
Yeah, he tried to meet me midair.
Nice.
Here we go.
Here it is. Yeah. Oh.
Got the 2 hit, and then the late double jump, super awkward. Mistimed it. Ended up not getting a reset because of that. Still went for a swag combo.
That was something. All right. Well, it's 2-1. Raphael's in the lead
I
here.
think that's fucking Arlieth behind me, isn't it? Just observing me. Getting the download on my skill level.
Raph was saying that he was worried about a Chun Li. Okay, there it is. All right. Well, Yokosen.
I wish I could say I've never done the same thing to him, but I got a download on him watching archives.
Okay. I'm sure Raphael has practiced this matchup a lot. Oh yeah, I'm sure. But he did say he was worried.
I can't believe this worked as well as it did.
Oh wow.
He didn't know the quick stand, like at all. He was missing quick stands on every knockdown. He might not have known how to do them in this game. And I just fucking no respected him. I could have won every round like this, I think. But I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I didn't want that to be the way I win.
Oh my god. That was so ridiculous. Oh, I've seen this happen in a second too. That being said, now.
That was a super awkward fireball. I think I got on accident trying for a parry into close strong after charging. That worked. That's a punish on jump and stomp. If I just empty jumped, or even if I did a jump normal, I'd be able to block it. But jump and stomp has quite a lot of recovery. It's like a really bad EX bird kick. It's like something you would do if you don't know how fast the EX bird kick is. This could have been a kill combo. And I just utterly choked it away. That was the touch of Dizzy, and I probably would have gotten it if I fucking got that crutch fierce, which I didn't.
Not a whole lot out of the stones, but still solid.
That worked too. That one was just me blocking the wrong direction. I forgot it hits like that.
Oh, there it is. That's a kill. Yep.
You can usually land through it. It like usually doesn't hit while you're falling. It's a very shitty move, to be honest. But it worked on me because I'm rusty, and because it was a scenario I'm not in very often.
It's literally like
Mixed feelings on Oro and SF5. If he was in the game, I would play him basically on principle.
and then you just have to guess like one. Just get like one.
But I feel like if he's an SF5, it hurts his chances in SF6.
Just seriously take away around.
I really feel that.
And here,
I could have died there if that was a low forward.
all I need is that one stock. Oh, there it is. Catch the forward.
The
down.
dash in was really greedy. You should usually approach Chun-Li midair, I feel. That could have been a punish.
Back in the corner.
Well, it was a punish, but it could have been a lot better.
Oh, another throw. Man.
That was a shimmy. Very cool one, too.
Wow, yeah. That's exactly
There will for sure be an SF6. I have literally no doubt.
Man, this is scary.
None whatsoever.
All right. I feel like our lad's like spitting the Chun Li tech.
That's gotta be an accident.
Yeah. Luckily, it's actually
It's like asking if there's gonna be a Monster Hunter after this recent one.
Oh, why?
World? What's the most recent Monster Hunter?
Super 3. That can't be right. Wait, no, Super 3's the one. Super 3 is the one, right?
I think he was just.
I think he was just like.
There's no way he's gonna pick 10 again. I
He
think
probably
did it
just like instinctively,
Yeah.
like by habit,
Yeah.
picked up 10 there.
I think that's exactly what happened.
All right.
Oof. I parried into button and he did his button after my button.
I mean, it's working, so.
Yeah.
Or like after my parry, but to counter hit my button.
Wow.
His button hit me after I hit mine.
Very, very good punish.
That was a mistimed meaty throw.
It's kind of hard to do meaty throws.
A lot of my buttons are just getting stuffed because it's fucking Chun-Li normals and hidden with the good timings. That was parry on landing, but he did a delayed
Yeah.
confirm.
Wow, no.
So stuff like that is really strong. I'm a little nervous here. Tell you that.
You just messed up the parry.
When this was happening live, I was like, oh fuck, this is kind of dire. It's really easy to eat a lot of errant hits in this matchup. Or like have your like moves, that was a punish, not hit in a way that's useful. Look at this health differential. But this is nice, I got something good here. And then I reveal the real cross up because I figure he has complete and total inexperience with Oro.
Should be a really big
And then I have a little bit too much scaling for a meaningful dizzy. But I did get a lot there, so that's nice.
Drops it though.
Oh, gets the throw.
He didn't mash at all. Fucking Brent.
No way he messed this up.
Come on, don't mess this up. Okay. Wow.
Fucking Brent.
All right. Okay. Here it is. 2-2 final round.
I needed all 6 hits to stun him.
Big boys.
Very, very close.
I think it would be a lot more obvious if I was playing on stick, if I was mashing, that he was supposed to mash. But my mashing is a lot more subtle.
If she gets that super off, see efficient with the low forward, trying to get that super.
He's got max super push up too.
There were just little things that were like really weird. But also he's doing a lot of really smart stuff, and I'm not finding... It's hard for me to find moments where I can exploit the inexperience. I think I've pretty much taken all the damage I take this round.
It's literally just over.
Or maybe not. There's the bad confirm. That was a really nerve-wracking parry, I've got to say.
What a hero. Here we go. I knew he could do it.
This was a deliberate 3-stone.
Drops it though.
Oh, stops it.
Still super nice though.
Got my cross-up angles all perfect. Stone wore out though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was probably better to deliberately not juggle with roundhouse there, just so I could get another unblockable where I could juggle roundhouse.
This would be such a sick comeback.
Yep.
Dead.
That was... He was still in it if he got the low forward super.
That was crazy.
But,
That was insane.
that was not a super easy thing.
We're just gonna go right.
Yeah, it's an unblockable. The stones hit on the front after Oro hits from behind,
All right.
and the game gets confused.
Going super 2 for the unblockables.
There's the handshake.
All right.
Holding left will get you killed, holding right will get you killed. There might be theoretically a way to hold left and right, or right then left, to like save it, but it's not easy. And you can always parry out.
That's a classic.
The parry's a lot easier. Depending on the scenario, the parry can be easier or harder than SA2.
He was doing like all of the like.
Generally, it takes fewer parries to parry out of a stone's unblockable than a SA2 unblockable. Yeah, you can parry out of everything in this game.
Oh, out of the corner though. Too close to the corner, I think.
Oh man, that was just time.
I really wanted the stun there, but I couldn't find it.
Stun.
Stun is so close.
Oh, he blocks the overhead though. Oh.
I'm so greedy when the opponent has high dizzy. That roundhouse just comes out on its own. I don't even hit it. I'm kind of a surgeon with that roundhouse, but I'm also kind of a reckless idiot. I'm probably one of the best auras that uses that roundhouse. That was a low forward actually paying off. I do them a lot against him, but almost never do they work. Actually hit the corner? Nope. Super close though.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, man. Cable just does not know what to do against us.
Well, oh, he got one parry.
That was an accident. That's a weird accident to get to. That I don't think his parry threw me off. It might have in some loose way.
Good blocking.
I don't know what went wrong. No, I guess his parry probably did throw me off.
Raphael taking round 1.
I delayed my button press and then treated it like a confirm and not like a punish.
That was a pretty decisive round 1, but I feel like he's gonna have some. The Makoto's gonna have some time to adapt here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he can figure out what's going on.
He's not charge heavy in third strike. All the times you would use uppercut, like on wake up or during combos, you have time to charge it very easily. Fireballs you have to charge in neutral,
I like that.
but that's it.
Ah, he's done it so many times. I'm really
Or being a
surprised
charge
by
character is mostly a, I mean, it's how you input the moves, but
Parry's the jump
it's
in,
not a
dash
limitation
under.
90% of the time. There are theoretically some pretty crazy things he can do if you could do charge moves forever, and there's a little bit of charge partition stuff with that,
The way
but generally speaking, Oro doesn't even care about charge partitioning at all.
but just like a
The chicken move is quarter circle. The command grab is half circle back, and then the other two moves are charge.
yeah. Ooh, on the corner, you
If the stomp was charged, Oro would probably be a low or bottom tier.
yeah. Punish, good punish. There we go. Okay, he's out of the corner. This is what he wants. Back throw.
Brent asked me after the match, he's like, how did you beat the Makoto? Because apparently, KFL beat Brent pretty handily. He was able to put Brent in the unfamiliar scenarios a lot more easily. And he's like, how do you fucking defend your way out of that? Or he like said something like that to me, Brent. He was like, how do you escape? How do you defend your way out? And I replied, I was never blocking, which is pretty much true.
Like it's one Parry. Yeah.
He was like, how do you protect yourself? How do you fight that? And I was like, he never got his turn.
Oh no, it's over.
I actually need this unblockable to guarantee the kill. I didn't have a kill there. And if I didn't have a kill there, my best possible way to chip him out / open him up was the unblockable.
Messed up. Yeah, you don't know how to play against Oro.
That's very much how I try to play. Makoto can never fight a normal character,
That's like it's
because if she does, she'll win. That's my strategy versus Makoto. I have to non-stop be doing the things that she can't anticipate.
Okay, well. Here's game close.
The moment he like gets me into some kind of like
Yeah, this
blender,
it's
I'm anyone, you know?
hard comeback.
I theoretically have a good EXDP, which is quite nice, but that's the only weapon I have, and I don't like doing it.
Oh man. Here we go.
Max damage.
Good juggle. He knows like exactly how
And Sky actually correctly assesses that that was the max damage there.
Wow.
It's usually player preference. It's, first to three.
He wasn't ready to get thrown. Wow. Here we go. Oh,
That was like perfect, but my setup was too visible.
solid. Doesn't even matter though. Well, there's a throw.
I do my universal red to media, I guess.
Come on. Let's get
Makes it
her.
more reactable.
Oh. She hasn't been able
I can still decide not to do anything. Block high.
Yeah, super up. Literally.
That was a walk forward, close forward. Those are easier than walk forward, close strongs, but this is actually a pretty optimal setup there. But I should have taken the mix up and not the unblockable. I think I lose here. I think I lose this round.
Nice link there. Perfect. Solid. Okay. This could be his round to win here. Ooh. Oh, wow. Parry's the forward fierce there.
That was when those two played, Brent versus KFL. It was 3 out of 5.
Oh, stomps. Oof, throw. Oh, another throw. He's going for an orb.
That actually surprised me that he got over that way. The axe kick made it worse, if anything, but I would have probably failed to chase it down because of how late he jumped. I usually try, if I forward dash too much, I can no longer chase him if he jumps over. But I need to move in if he doesn't jump over if I want to get a mix-up. So there's actually a mix-up going on there that you probably wouldn't immediately guess is there. Where whether or not I approach is, like, how fast, when I time my approach is whether or not I can still, like, catch a jump over.
The universal overhead. Yep. Not very rewarding though.
Got a super, super good connect there. And this is actually probably the optimal way to kill him. This is an easier parry than 3 individual supers, because I can just fill the screen with supers if I want to. But the problem is, if I just do a raw super, I could get hit out of it. Like, it depends. Like, in order to do, if I do, let's say, if I just do raw super, he could EX dash punch it, I think. If I do light fireball into raw super and he jumps right then I could get fucked up. And if I do upward fireball into upward fireball into super in neutral, then he could just dash punch it. So, like, Sun doesn't have that risk. It forces him into a scenario where he's got to go for a ton of parries, and 99% of the time, people aren't going to be ready to do that. So even though it's much harder to parry out of 3 individual supers than one Sun, the Sun is also less risky. I'm pretty sure I recover faster than him anyway. A lot faster. He'll still be parrying by the time I'm recovered. I actually didn't chase it in though because I was very confident that he wasn't going to parry it. But like in a perfect world, I would have dashed in while he was parrying and tried to throw him or something. Greedy of me.
That was like psychic. Oh, nice. Nice stun combo.
Utterly choked.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. As soon as you get a hit and stun, it resets the
Cute.
juggle
Cute kill.
like right away. So you just get these
I want to hit him
combos.
before he hit the ground. And close strong might have whiffed there. Or gotten far strong, which would have hit him after he like hit the ground, where he might have been able to land and block. So I picked a normal that was fast and would hit him like... that was such a bad thing. I tried to dash in and I didn't get it, and then I was surprised I didn't get it, so I dashed again late, and then I was minus. It's very awkward. I played really badly, but this guy played even worse, so no offense to him. That was a punish though. Fireballs are kind of bad in this game. There's not a whole lot of danger to me just jumping in. That's really the key. That's the biggest reason that fireballs are terrible in this game. It's not even the fact that parries exist. The real key to fireballs being useless is that there's a very real danger all the time of the opponent jumping in, which doesn't exist nearly as much in SF2 and SF4. People jumping in is a big risk in those games, but at any given time, someone could commit to a jump in this game, and it's not an unusual thing. It's hard to anticipate because of that. That was an accidental stomp. It's kind of awkward. I usually don't go for the stomps there because they're unsafe and there's no confirm. It's just a tricky unblockable. Hey, the jump to kill, I didn't realize. I played really sloppy basically this whole tournament. I don't know what was wrong. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days, I don't know. I was really aggressive too. Those were all failed parry attempts. I alternated high and low parry, and he like alternated things that could only be parried low and only high. So like he happened to get like a whole sequence on me just because I was parrying the wrong direction, like basically consistently for the whole thing. I was going for really aggressive parries and none of them paid off. I was like, oh, crouching hit. I tried for a super jump cancel super, and what actually happened was I got the super jump because I missed it. That was supposed to be universal overhead. Okay, hold on, timeout. That's actually a really complicated scenario that happened there. So 99% of the time when I go for a super like this, I do a 3-stone super, and then I do a meaty stand short, which gets the stones on top of the opponent while I can still block. And then once they're blocking the stones, I then go for, you know, stuff. And if they do a reversal DP or if they do a reversal super, the stones hit them. And I block and then I do some stuff. But here, I did the 5-stone to do overhead into uppercut, which is a combo. Universal overhead into stand strong with 5 stones, and even 3 stones is a combo. And I was just going to kill him with that. I was just going to go for either low short or overhead. It was overhead in this case. I was just going to go for one of those two into stand strong and then kill him from there. And if it didn't work, I was still safe, so I could do it again. Like walk forward short and then do it again. But what I did was I whiffed that early stand short, and that turns off my stones for my following hit because they're busy recovering from that stand short. And that's not an issue with my 3-stone pressure stuff. But here, it meant that my stones didn't follow my universal overhead properly. And what that meant was that my universal overhead hit fully, like, was blocked point blank at blocked point blank for like -7 or whatever. Non-meaty point blank universal overhead standing opponent block. So that throw was actually a punish. So if I didn't do that stand short, I probably would have killed him. Maybe it depends on whether I blocked the overhead. But because I did do the stand short, my overhead was super late, and it also had no conversion and was unsafe. So it's just wires crossing in my head because I don't normally do the thing that I did there. We both set our buttons properly, and I was like, hey, you want to go straight in? And he was like, sure. And I was like, let's do it. I trust my buttons.
Very offensive from
They observed that. They were like expecting the button check, and we just played.
Ooh. Dude, not even playing Ken. Father Ken's a fraud.
Oh yeah, I should mention that my triple kick button was broken for this entire tournament, but that's almost a non-factor for me because I never use it. No, it was I literally never use it in this game,
Double jump.
although it was broken while I was here.
It's so threatening because you feel like you want to jump in, but
Ooh,
like
because there is no triple kick button.
that like you can't really go in there and try and
I
pounce
forgot
it.
about that.
Very
I should be
slow.
mentioning that. Well, it's not a big
Oh my
deal.
gosh, the chip out.
I'm
So
doing
close.
2-button supers and 2-button
Double
EXs,
jump. Oh
which
no.
I'm kind of sloppy with. I get them more often than I drop them, but every now and then I get like a 1-button, and I get a failed EX or I get a fucking non-EX super. I'm like all my muscle memory is to do like just with the.
Way into that.
I could have stunned him with roundhouses there. I just went for a style combo, but it was super
Let's
unoptimal.
go. Come on.
That's like not even an optimal combo anyway. But if I just did roundhouses, I would have done more damage and more stun.
So dirty. All right, that's cool.
Got the perfect anyway, but you know.
Wow. Brutal.
This guy hopped on commentary later and he seemed to know what he was talking about, but I didn't hear it that much because I was never on commentary with him. And I didn't watch the archive except for the fucking matches that I played.
All right, so that's one win for Bath. Let's see if Father can take it back. Ooh, picking that Ken. That's like violent Ken color right there.
That little close medium kick. Stop that. That was a really good early heavy DP. Most people would never parry there.
Ooh, that empty jump.
I went for that. He showed the anti-air DP like twice.
Oh wow.
And then I went for a lot of it, jump in parries. And I got nothing. That one wasn't one.
Trying to play like 3 steps ahead.
Especially right at the end of the second round of this match. I was going for empty jump parry a lot.
All
And
right.
he just wasn't biting.
Go for Commander Jesse.
I wanted to get one. I wanted to get a jump in parry
Ooh,
and
wow.
get a punish for the kill or whatever.
Ooh, wake up TP.
But I couldn't find it.
Ooh. Oh, and he gets the combo.
It's very rewarding when you read that and then get it.
Solid combo right there. Oh no.
You might think, based on our health, that this was a pretty tense scenario for me, but I literally just decided if I down backed, he wouldn't be able to do much to me.
It's over. It's over. Ooh.
Even though our health was pretty close and even though I was knocked over and it was Ken. I can't explain my confidence, but I was very confident.
Very close.
Oh, I 5-stoned here. Forgot about that.
Ooh, Tegrastone.
I think now, if I did it right this second, I would 3-stone, but I'm so fickle.
Wow,
I'm pretty random.
just, like, naked
Unless the 5-stone is going to kill, in which case I'll always do the 5-stone.
Tegrastone combos.
Who?
Trade.
What?
Trying to trade.
All of Ken's DPs beat throws,
Ooh, he mashes
I
out.
think. I went for the red parry. I was greedy as fuck.
Oh, he went for the
I
parry.
really did go for the parry. This guy was correct.
Oh, trying to
I wanted fucking something for a highlight video, you know?
Oh! Oh no! Oh
The red parry, the only time I've ever practiced the red parry there is on the second hit, but I went for the red parry on the 5th hit. It's not any harder. It's just the timing that I'm not used to. And I like only get it sometimes on the second hit. Second hit is the most optimal time to try and parry it. You want to minimize the amount of chip damage you take. And parrying the first hit is quite difficult. I think I was minus there. Still alright though. If I got thrown, that was that. I just held that back.
What I did notice, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead. What I did notice when we were playing is that he likes to shoot his forward fireballs, right? And then he'll go in for pressure, and then he'll
How did I not
jump. He just
use
goes
the
up.
super there?
That's what I noticed.
I ended up saving some meter for it, but like, how did I not? That was pretty clean. I made a lot of less chokes in tense scenarios, but my decision making was worse, I feel. And I played a lot more risky, hard and loose. The delayed button press. Traded. Or wins most trades.
Yeah, his Tegrastone, his setup, and
I like that a lot against Shadows.
Ryu has been
The close strong on block into low parry OS.
calls up a double jump, he can stun.
A lot of Shadows just hit close medium kick there.
Oh well.
That was deliberate. I was like, either this is gonna either he's gonna get hit by the close strong and this is gonna be a combo into the kill, or he's gonna block it and fuck up either the block or the punish. Because it's a scenario that if you don't fight Oro, it's very difficult. If you fight Oro, it's very easy. Basically, once you block stand strong into stomp, you can react to the stomp and then just scoot forward a little bit, and then you can punish the landing. It's a big window to punish the landing. You don't even have to move forward depending on the character you play, but it's a good idea to anyway. But it's like the teeniest, tiniest forward walk.
But it's good enough. Nice parry. He gets back on for it. Wow. Okay.
That's a tricky scenario to try to wake up into. A lot of Shotos try to DP me out of it. That was an EX DP he did, but it's just the angle is too awful. It generally can't be interrupted, and then Oro can land on the front or the back depending on timing and my double jump. I like that setup a lot. I invented it to the best that I can tell.
Here we go. Sets up the offense against throw. Oh, that gets the instant overhead. Oh no.
I've been shifting over to that instant overhead from instant overhead stomps.
Instant overhead.
That one's a lot less consistent. It also does less damage. It's a lot safer though. Close strong into super is what I went for there. Close strong EX super.
Right.
I got it here though. That's not like optimal or anything to do a neutral jump first.
He was a charge character for a long time.
Technically speaking, the most optimal thing to do there, that was so early on the overhead. It's a mistake. Technically speaking, the most optimal thing to do there is, oh, the fireball. I timed the fireball for a parry, and I didn't get it, and I was super weirded out. And then I just blocked on the fucking dungeon. It was so bad. It was a complete choke. I should have died there. Or not died. I would have been down to like 20%. Maybe 15.
Looks like Carafel's trying to come back from losing.
But, you know,
Similar to
I shook out.
last week, I think? Or 1 week.
My mashing is pretty fast. It's not the fastest out there.
Just the two best.
A lot of people aren't ready for someone to really mash out of a stun, but I react to stuns pretty quickly. Got me that time. I got more and more ready for it the more he did it. That was a failed walk forward. Walk forward strong was impossible there, but walk forward was the optimal punish.
Yeah.
The only, like the best punish.
Dakota's got so much tricky stuff. She throws out so much stuff. And also, like, the threat whenever she gets close. Because she has a command grab that results in...
Self corner on accident.
You know what I mean? So, like...
Nice reliable punish.
Oh, yeah.
Probably shouldn't have taken it. If I got close strong, I would have done so much to him. He's doing a lot of empty cancels and playing the ranged and playing the standing a lot more. So he completely shifted his game plan from like previous weeks, which caught me off guard, but like only for like a second. He didn't get like hits because it caught me off guard. I'm just saying it caught me off guard, but like that wasn't a weapon. It was a weapon because it was working, because it was good. Playing the neutral against me is definitely a thing that you can do. That's weird that I didn't spend the meter there. Even EX uppercut would have been good to get the near dizzy. I was just praying he wouldn't do that, but he did it and mistimed it. That was a mistaken jump medium kick. I hit it too late. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy.
Goes back up to full meter. So this will be threatening.
It's harder than it looks,
Yeah.
but not hard.
I bet he's saving it this round. You don't want to spend it last round.
If you, it's like easier in this game than Street Fighter 4 to hit a button on the way up and have the button be eaten by your pre-jump, or your early jump would be more accurate. That was actually punishable, by the way. When Stomp only hits once like that, even if it hits, it's like unsafe.
Your opponent will have their super by round 3 again. You know what I mean?
Sloppy by me.
Meter conservation.
Look how much damage that does. That was pointed out in a comment. I have 50% of my HP right now. He does meaty stand strong, gets a combo out of it, and I'm dead. It's because I got hit crouching, and also it's because Makoto Super 1 does a lot of damage.
He couldn't find it. He couldn't find that confirmed. Alright, solid.
In the winner's final match, I went, I lost 2 in a row and then won the next 3. Yeah, you take a lot more damage crouching in third strike. You also reel for longer, so there are certain links that only work on crouching opponents. For example, Necro's back strong into half circle forward kick, grab, will combo on crouching opponents but not standing opponents. That's probably the most prominent one. There aren't that many.
No drop, let's go. Pop, 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 free damage, let's go.
In second impact, Alex had, ooh, that was awkward for him. In second impact, Alex had,
Yeah, nice. Alright.
medium, on certain characters I think, Elena was one of them. He had close medium kick on crouching connect into medium chop and it would be a combo. Which is quite hilarious in my humble opinion. Because medium chop causes a back turn, so we could get a bunch in a row. The opponent keeps on crouching. He dropped that a bunch of times and it was heartbreaking each time. We looked at the frames, it's a fucking 6-frame link. That's a hard parry. I was insanely greedy going for it, and I got it. It was a parry to the right, although Oro parries to the left.
Ooh, oh, whoa, all these
Parrying
parries.
post cross-up parries is a very tiny window.
Oh, okay.
Got the second and only. It was super weird, and then I was an unusual distance away from him.
Oh my
So my
gosh.
second, my walking close strong was unusual too.
It's over. Wow. Excellent conversion.
It's all happening so fast. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that's
talk about
right.
things as they come up.
The weird
I'm not talking about my
connections.
thoughts that much.
The close strong.
I'm trying not to be next to him. And when I am next to him, it's like hopefully while he's blocking something. So I'll still jump in and make him block
Like,
something.
surely there's a better thing there than
But
like.
apart from that, I'm mostly just jumping around and leaning back and fucking not doing anything, occasionally poking. But I got hit, so now I'm in the blender, same as anyone else.
Oh my God, whiffs the stiff.
That was a failed cancel. I was actually just a fuck up. That wasn't a deliberate close forward into close roundhouse. Far roundhouse.
Ooh, nice, little trade.
Roundhouse, roundhouse.
Oh my.
His
God.
reads were on point. I feel like I lost a lot of rounds I shouldn't have lost just purely because he was right a lot, you know what I mean?
Oh.
It's possible to react to both of ours overheads pretty easily here. Jumping is suicide.
Jumping.
Parrying is okay,
In the juggle with the Tengu stones.
but jumping is definitely not the way out of a fucking Tengu corner stuff.
They're
It's
scary.
probably the worst thing you can do, actually.
Ooh, nice. Wake up stomp.
However, it will waste some time on the
That's the
Tengu count.
classic. Hayate into Karakusa,
Jumped away.
man.
I hate jumping away from a fucking Karakusa.
Against some people, it's just like literally a combo.
Here we go. This does so much stun. Look at this.
Against some people, Hayate into Karakusa.
So my whole thing right here is I just happen to get like a fucking cross up into stuff.
It's like
And this is just
literally
regular ass fucking stun damage. And this would do, this whole combo would put the stun to like here, okay? But because he parries, it resets the stun scaling. So I get a fucking whole bunch of roundhouses to do like unscaled stun.
wow.
And then I drop my combo.
Oh, wow.
Bungus was like, is this a weird reset? But no, it was just a mistake.
Oh my gosh, I'm in.
By the way, neutral jump roundhouse does more damage than jump in roundhouse. And also more stun and also reels longer.
Yeah, exactly. Kihara
I only found that out recently.
there because
So when you get a stun, you should go for the neutral jump rather than the jump in.
or just like doing any air parry, it resets your whole juggle potential and the combo. So after that point,
Resetting the juggle potential, he's right, it does.
stones and
But
it's right
resetting the juggle potential wasn't a factor because it was
I mean, not
stones,
scale, obviously lots of
which resets the juggle potential anyway.
reset the scaling.
But it did reset the scaling, and that was important there.
Oh,
That's just literally a meme if the opponent quick stands. I was just gonna see if he was gonna do it.
unblockable with the EX
Fucking everyone KFL fucks up. I feel so bad.
or rather just the quick rise.
I don't want to win like that.
None of that.
A lot of the time, I'll like if he jumps out of a throw, I OS parry him on the way down, and then he axe kicks. And sometimes I block it, and sometimes I don't. But it caught me off guard every time.
Nice. You don't want to spend that super. Understandable.
That actually dodged the fucking instant air medium kick I did.
Such an insane.
I could have timed it better again.
Amazed. Okay. Such a huge lead. God,
TC for style.
Alright, so this is it. Final round here.
Sometimes it's a far strong, and sometimes it's a close strong.
They can't bring it back
I
right.
went for walking close strong at the super, but I missed it and just got the strong.
Wow, whiff stomps. No
So the combo ended up looking kind of stupid. Trying to do strongs to catch a walk forward. I mean a dash in.
Oh, back throw though, questionable.
Ooh,
All right, Karakusa.
blender.
Just trying to take it back to the other.
Oro's got two things he can do here that are extremely irregular. One is an actual good EX reversal,
Stun. And
Alright.
is that it?
Alright, takes the round.
which is his EX uppercut, and the other is the stomp.
Final round.
Backdash won't actually get out of that Karakusa, sadly. You can get out of a wake up Karakusa, but there's no throw immunity on a reset. See, that was a OS parry, but he did the stomp. That was actually cool. Those are good there, if anywhere. That got a fucking close strong, but he was blocking. That caught me way off guard. That time I just fucking close strong the jump.
Oh my gosh, and it's looking good.
Neutral jumps against Oro doing pressure are super risky because he could close strong you.
Man.
And that's like a thing that he probably will be doing.
Jump out, can't take it. Oh, back thrown
It's possible to parry the close strong, but it's a scenario you just don't want to find yourself in the first place. Surprisingly good here. And then he loses like that. They wouldn't have killed me, but like, that was a heartbreaker.
God, wow.
It wasn't on stream, but I immediately played him in an Elena match. I played Elena versus Makoto. I lost, but it was pretty close. I was hoping it would be on stream, but it wasn't. Sad. We only played the single match. I leaned over to him and I was like, "How about a casual for the road?"
Oh.
And he's like, "Yeah." Maybe not. Maybe the competition's getting worse as the weeks go by. There were like 3 killers week 1, and there were like 2 killers week 2. And week 3 there was like 1 killer. These are all not counting me. Um, but the entrants have been very random, and the other players, the people not doing it, are still there. Like Flaquita was there like last Wednesday. He just didn't enter third strike. Um, I didn't see Brent, so Brent was maybe not there. But the entrants have been pretty steady. It was like 15 entrants. It was like 13 entrants, and then it was like 25, and then it was like 16 this recent time or something. I don't remember. But it's been okay numbers. It's free and there's a pot bonus, so like that's that, right? That's all it takes. It's like, well, if I enter, I could win $5. And that's what happened this week. What's his face? Um, Commander Jesse entered in this tournament. I never got to fight him, but Commander Jesse entered that last Wednesday, and he played okay, and he came in third, and he got $5. I do casuals, but not teaching. Not yet. No one's asked me anything. If anyone asks me something, I'll answer it. But usually I just play all silently. I hop on commentary all the time. The fucking tournament's happening though. They have me like just hop on whenever because I'm one of like a few people who knows what's all going on in the game. How do I play Ape Escape? Get a controller with 2 sticks, and then get the ROM of the game, and maybe an emulator too. I guess I should go like lie down in bed and close my eyes since it's 7 a.m. That seems good. Schedule's pretty weird right now. I'm gonna kill the stream.